Okay, we got the Simplicity Legacy tractor. Okay, so we got a hood strap here. We got a hood strap over on this side. Here's where we check the oil, right there. There's our coolant. Put that back down. Always strap our hoods. Okay, we're gonna just cruise around the unit real quick, check the tires, make sure nothing's flat, look underneath it, make sure nothing's leaking. Okay, everything looks like it's hooked up, good, solid, nothing's gonna fall off. Okay, so in the unit, the soft cab kind of covers up the dash a little bit, so you can kind of push that back after you open the hood. It's a diesel, so if you turn the key once, see we have this light right here. That's our glow plug light. As soon as that goes out, we want to make sure we're on the low end of the throttle, quarter throttle or less. Okay, so, yep, we always start it at a low throttle. It's going to sit there. It's going to miss for a couple seconds. You wait until it's running smooth. Then you can throttle it up a little bit when it's in a warm shop. That's fine, okay? If it's cold outside, not running, you're going to want to let it warm up at low throttle for, 5 minutes before you throttle it up a little bit. So, I was showing you there, these are loader functions for the broom, okay? Up, down, side to side. You don't want to be slamming this thing side to side. This broom's really heavy. It'll break welds on the broom. It'll just damage it if you're just slamming it back and forth. Nice, easy side to side motion. Okay. When you're running the broom or the blower, you always want to be in float, which is forward until it locks. And that's going to just put no down pressure on it. It's just going to allow the broom to float over the surfaces. That's how it works the best. Okay? You don't ever want to be just pushing forward on the broom or anything like that. You just run it and float all the time. If it doesn't want to start, the parking brake's got to be on for it to start. Okay? So we got our parking brake down here, and it's got to be pushed in. You pull this little red lever out right here. With it pushed in, parking brake's locked. To get the parking brake to release, you just need to push it in and it'll come back and it's released. Okay, so parking brake on to start, off to operate. Simple. Forward, reverse pedal. Doesn't get any easier than that. Here's our lights. This switch is for a snowblower. It turns the chute on the snowblower with this switch. And then over here, this selects where our PTO is spinning. Okay, there's a decal right here. This is for your rear. This middle one does your rear and your front. The forward one does just your front. You always want it in the forward one. We don't run any rear implements. We don't want the rear one spinning at the same time. We always want the front one on, okay? But if your attachment isn't working, this is probably the cause. If you engage the PTO, this probably got, somebody climbed in here and this got slammed to the back. So your back PTO is spinning. So PTO off, to move this. Don't ever move this with the PTO on, okay? If your attachment won't raise or swivel, this is probably why. This selects your rear hydraulics and your front hydraulics, okay? So we always want this on the front, because with that switch to the rear, this just operates your 3-point in the back. It won't operate your front attachment. Over here off to the right, this is our 4-wheel drive. We want to operate in 2-wheel drive whenever possible. You just put it in 4-wheel drive when you need to, okay? To get it to engage, you have to kind of move the tractor back and forth really slowly, and it'll pop into 4-wheel drive, and the same to get it out. Just very slowly, you want to go back and forth, and it'll pop into 2-wheel drive. Okay, not fast, just going nice and slow. That's cruise control. You don't need to worry about that. I'm not gonna be doing cruise control. So, and here's our PTO. We want to engage and disengage at half throttle. And then up here's our heater. Okay, we got 3 speeds on that. We got middle is off. 2 speeds on that. Middle is off, and then we got a high and a low. So, and then up here's our windshield wiper. And that pretty much covers the operations in the cab. Always make sure that these doors are latched. And then we have a bungee that goes across here in the winter. And the bungee always needs to be on when this thing's on the trailer. If you don't put the bungee on, it's gonna bounce out of there. And then what happens is we lose this piece. The door gets damaged from the wind beating it up, and then we lose this piece, and then you won't be able to latch your door for the rest of the night. So that makes it pretty miserable. So always put the bungee on going across. And we load this machine forwards. So it sits, you know, on the trailer like this, and the truck's in front. Because if we loaded this one backwards, the wind would catch the doors, even with the bungee, and they'd destroy the doors. So this one always goes forwards. That pretty much covers that.